Bro, I just feel like that's a disservice to
It
Migos,
is. So what?
City
So what?
Girls.
So what? So
but, bro,
what?
like, this is why I say BET never changed. One song, and it just came out 2 months
Group
ago.
of the year. Group of the year.
There's no album. There's no tour. It's one
Group
video.
of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, you have locked into Rap Life. We're gonna talk to Low Key, we're gonna talk to Nadeska. What are the most important conversations that are going on in hip hop right now, as well as run through some of the hottest songs on the playlist. So y'all keep it locked right here. This is Rap Life. Now, let's start with this Young M.A. story. Nadeska, I was just hearing about this the other day, was surprised. I spoke to Young M.A. Right when this Off the Yak came out. Clearly the album called Off the Yak, so I was like, all right, she drinking and she been drinking. Remember, she had stopped drinking, but I didn't really process that it was an issue. Like, for her to check herself into a rehab center. Did you have any more info here other than what we're hearing on the internet?
No, same for me, because I feel like she's been actually really focused on her music recently, right? So she launched a show here on Apple Music One. She dropped the album. I think she had a mixtape out recently, like you were saying. Seems like she's been focused, so I didn't know it was an issue until she posted that message to her fans saying, I'll be back. I'm about to lose this addiction on my way to rehab. But I think at least it's nice that she's being forthcoming about it, right? I think we know sometimes artists go through these issues behind the scenes. They may glorify it in the music and never are honest with their fans. So I think it's nice that we know that she's dealing with this, that it's a serious issue, and, you know, we can give her our support.
Yo, that rehab thing is hard. The drinking thing is I'm assuming it's the drinking. I don't know. Maybe it's something other than that. Lo, do you have any insight?
I'm reading right here just to tap in. She was on IG Live saying that, you know, people were accusing her of drug abuse, you know, pills and coke or whatever the case is, and she denied it very quickly, saying, like, you know, don't do me like that. I got people who are watching this. Don't put stuff like that on me. So she denied that it's not drug abuse. So I'm assuming that it is alcohol abuse. So whatever, you know, however much she was drinking or why she was drinking or whatever the case is, I'm glad she's actually taking her own steps to get herself better. But she said it herself that it is not drug abuse.
Well, Young M.A., get well. Sis, we love you on this side. Big supporters over here. Take your time. Take all the time you need. We'll be here to support. Albums drop. Let's start with Doja Cat. How much of this is based on actual experience versus other people's experiences?
This is one of those albums where more of my personal life is in my lyrics.
How important is hip hop to Doja?
I care about rap, I do. And I feel like with Hot Pink, I put Smino on there because I know he is out of this world talented. Yep. Like, putting JID on this album was the same thing. I feel like these rappers need a platform. They need to be shown to the world more. And if I can do that, I'm gonna do that. Thank God for SoundCloud. I wanted to post stuff, and I did, and I was getting like maybe 50 plays on some of my stuff, and I would like freak out or whatever.
When you look at that young lady, what would you tell her today?
Stop smoking weed. That's pretty much it. I don't know if I tell her anything else.
Spent a little time with it, not enough to like really, you know, deep dive into it. But, you know, just the response that I've seen on social media, the people impressed with her rapping ability. You know, her style is already unique. Her fashion is unique. Her look is just unique. And I'm just actually starting to become a rap fan of her. I like her personality. You know, I like what she stands for. She's a cool chick, but, you know, as far as a rap stan, I'm getting to that point. So I got to still sit with it a little bit more. So when we come back next week.
As a fan of her musically and a fan of her creatively, until she makes an actual hip hop body of work, you know, that is more rapping and sonically just feels more hip hop, she's never going to get the credit she deserves with the culture. I don't think.
Do you think that's what she wants?
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
I
don't know if she cares. I don't know where she, you know, ranks that in her priority list at all. But I will say, musically, The album's great. You know, she delves into R&B, she delves into pop sounds, she delves into even some Afrobeat Caribbean sounds, some hip hop. JID's on the album. You know what I'm saying? They have an amazing record together called Options. You know, she's collaborated with Smino before. You know, so she has an affinity for cats that do this and wants to go bar for bar with them on a song. She just hasn't done a full project like that. You know what I'm saying? But as Lo pointed out, if you are a person who pays attention to rapping skill, Doja Cat is a f***ing problem.
Yeah.
But once again, I'll say it, you can't really put her in the same conversation as some of the best doing it right now because she hasn't done a full rap song.
I'm curious if she'll ever do that because I think she's positioned herself in a very unique place and not an easy place that you could get to. So remember, of course, when Nicki came out, she was just really, really rapping like her early mixtapes. And then she started to cross over into this pop world. She had that like Ariana Grande crossover fan base. And that really took her career to the next level. Some people didn't like that so much. They just wanted her to keep rapping. So Doja Cat's been all over the place, but in the best way. It's like you said, she can make pop R&B. She could rap well, but no one's really trying to like put her in a box necessarily. So she could be on a record with JID. She could have a big like just female rap record with the Saweetie and then just go straight pop. I don't know if she wants to make a full rap record. She doesn't necessarily need to. I think she's in such a unique position that a lot of artists would love to be in, but they find it hard to walk that line. And I feel like Tyler's someone in that space as well. I know we're going to talk about him next, but the fine line between pop star and being a rapper, it's not easy, but she did it.
Now, speaking of Tyler, he put out Call Me If You Get Lost, which starts out and sounds like a DJ Drama Gangsta Grills mixtape.
Which is my favorite
for
part.
the first which is like the first 6 or 7 records of it, which I love that. I love the fact that Tyler's been bigging up, people like West Side Gun and the output of Griselda as inspiring him to want to start really, really rapping again. This album is much more rap heavy than Igor was, even though Igor was super phenomenal. Once again, this album produced by Tyler, the Creator, mostly. Let's go to Nadeska, who I know has spent a lot of time with this new Tyler album. What are your thoughts?
Yo, this guy, I love Tyler. So Igor and Flower Boy were 2 of my favorite of his albums just because he's changed so much over the years. Those first early albums when he was just sort of wildin' and making this real dark, crazy music.
Goblin and all that,
yeah. I didn't necessarily know what to make of him. And then he hit this point where like his production's amazing. I love Igor. So when Call Me If You Get Lost dropped, I actually went back and listened to Igor Riding Around this weekend before I went into that one just because I wanted to see how they flow into each other, and they don't at all. It's like you said. Whereas that album was more like pop and melodic and a lot of sounds. This is some straight rap shit, which I didn't really expect. And even the features like 42 Doug, I think Youngboy NBA is on here.
42 Doug sound, yep, NBA Youngboy's on there.
It's so crazy.
Uzi Vert.
Yeah, you never know what's going to come from Tyler, but I think, and I don't know if this comes from a place of people trying to not give him his credit for being a great rapper as well, or if he just did this for fun because he does what he wants. But I think it's interesting that he took a complete left turn on this. Like the DJ Drama hosting the tape was mind-blowing to me, but I like it.
So I think, if you take from Goblin, which, he had a record on Goblin called Yonkers, Yonkers.
Oh, yeah, Yonkers, yeah. Yonkers was the record. Yeah, that was the record.
Goblin and this album, in my ears, feel like the evolution of someone who is really into rapping, right? Flower Boy and Igor, more melodic. There's rapping in there, of course. But, Flower Boy and Igor didn't necessarily go together, but they did not go together. Like, you could see where he could get there. But this is all, as you're pointing out, Nadeska, you can't really put Tyler in a box, and which is also why people don't really know how to follow unless you're like a super fan, right? Like if you're just a secondary fan, a tertiary fan, you're like, okay, what are you? What are you saying? What do you, if you look at look at us socially, it's easier to deal with someone when you can put them in a box, right? Whether that's in your personal life or otherwise. It's kind of like being in a relationship and you like somebody, but you're like, what are we though? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? And you want to put a title on it. And I think the same thing is consumers do the same thing for products, right? And music and artists. So I think that's also why, when you're hearing like, how did Tyler and DJ Drama, or like, where does that go together? It absolutely goes together because Tyler's a hip hop fan.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a LA street skate, street culture, but he's in the street culture, he's into hip hop. Of course he was a Drama fan. Of course he liked Gangsta Grillz tapes. And of course, Tyler's like, yo, I thought it would, and he loves to throw people a curveball.
That's the thing.
So
he loves it. He
not?
loves the confusion. I feel like he thrives on that. So for him, dropping this album was probably a lot of fun because he knew people would be confused. And I was like, I would say confused. I was taken aback, but in the best way possible. I was like, this guy did it again. He can do literally whatever he wants because, like you said, he really is genuinely a hip hop head. So for people who criticize him for not being enough of a rapper or enough of this, he's another one, a rare artist who can really walk that line. And with every project he drops, he's just proving that no one can really with him.
And I might be going off on a ledge just a little bit. And again, I'm not the biggest Tyler fan, but when I heard that he was doing a tape with Drama, it kind of brought me back to the fact when Pharrell did a tape with Drama for In My Mind. So everything that we're talking about with Tyler about pushing the boundaries, not putting him in the box, we kind of correlate that to Pharrell because we didn't know what the hell Pharrell was. We know he was a phenomenal producer. Then, I didn't know what it was, the style, the rapping, he was talking about. That's how I look at Tyler. It's like, yo, I don't really know where to put you. I don't know how to articulate what I like about you, what I don't. But it's just like, it's always fun guessing what he's going to do next. So, I do appreciate this project, but I always correlate him and Pharrell, kind of in the same vein.
Thinking of those early Odd Future days, them wilding. I remember going to the shows. They were wilding so much. Frank Ocean was just too nervous to even be on stage with them. I remember seeing that in New York. He popped on the stage for 2 minutes and was like, this is too much for me. I'm getting out of here. To see where Tyler is now, it's the craziest. It's really, really amazing to watch. Like sometimes you just don't know with an artist all the things they're capable of. So I'm always excited to see what he's going to do next.
Well, so speaking of exciting, was him performing at the BET Awards last night, which BET Awards, I'm a super fan. Obviously, anything celebrating Black entertainment and specifically for Black entertainment, I'm all in on. And whether it's a disastrous show and a complete mess, I have a good time with it. But most of the time, 99% of the time, like I'm going all the way back to when they had Will and Jada doing skits on stage at the BET Awards. Like I've been in. Like I love it. And Taraji P. Henson doing skits last night. The Swizz Beatz DMX tribute with Method Man doing DMX, and then Griselda coming out, and then they had Sheik and Styles and Jada come out. And Michael K. Williams came out doing, but they did DMX's verses as like poetry so that you could actually feel the gravity and feel the emotion of the words that they was doing. So the DMX tribute was fire. Her taking a pivot away from rap life, but just giving this R&B thing it's just due. Her came out playing the drums. She floated down out of the ceiling playing the drums to start her set while singing at the same time.
I didn't even know she could play drums. Then dashed off to grab facts. Talk about it. Then dashed off to grab her guitar and did like a super ill guitar solo. Had some little dance steps where her dancers like her did this last night. Okay.
She got busy.
Wait, hold on. All right, so okay, we're talking about, R&B, and Jasmine Sullivan, she won R&B, I think, Album of the Year.
Yep.
Her performance with Ari Lennox, incredible.
Yeah, incredible. But I just want to point this out. In BET, if you're watching right now, please never change. I just want to know how in the hell did Silk Sonic win Best Group of the Year?
I was going to get to that.
They have one song.
Because they're the most exciting group of the year.
Bro, I just feel like that's a disservice to
it
Migos,
is. So what?
City Girls.
So what?
But, bro, like, this is why I say BET never changed. One song, and it just came out 2 months ago.
Group of the year. Group of the year.
There's no album. There's no tour. It's one video.
Group of the year.
And this is coming from Low-Key, who we know loved that one song.
He loved that one
record,
song and
so you know
that
it means
one video.
something.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I'm trolling. I said the same thing, but then I was like, it.
I mean, City Girls should feel away. Like, hell, even Chloe and Haley should feel away.
But look, now let's keep it a bean. All right, they're Megan Thee Stallion ran last night. Migos was up there. They did their little bop. They had a little Migos little bop to straighten in. They had, Migos, don't lose the choreo. Some of the greats had some of the great rap groups of all time had a little choreo. Outkast had a little choreo when they used to go out. They had a little bop. Goody Mob had a little bop. Dipset, remember the Dipset had a little Dipset had a little bop.
Yo, Offset has been a nice dancer though. He was probably just waiting to get the other two on board. He's been waiting to shine. Offset is nice. He's nice at dancing.
He's nice. He's dope. But anyway, I say all that to say, it was so much rap on the BET Awards last night. I was like, so what are we gonna do for the BET Hip Hop Awards though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because these award shows need to maintain their value. I get concerned about that, right? Because hip hop becomes so mainstream that then the shows and the platforms that are really just in the culture, doing it for the culture, they end up losing the superstars to the mainstream platforms. You know what I'm saying? So the BET Awards had Migos, they had Cardi B, they had Megan Thee Stallion, they had City Girls, they had Roddy Ricch, they had DaBaby, they had Tyler the Creator. Those is the biggest in the format. So what happens at the BET Hip Hop Awards?
I mean, that's in the fall, right? I feel like they have time. There's still like Polo G's. I feel like more albums are going to come this summer. I feel like there's that next tier of pre-superstars, and that's their moment to be acting crazy.
Look, I just want to say for the artists, y'all got to support the Hip Hop Awards too. That's all I'm saying. Make sure you support the Hip Hop Awards because that's good for the young artists coming up too. To have the A-listers up in there with the cats that's coming up for the culture so it looks right. I wish Drake and Cole and Kendrick and these individuals showed up to the BET Awards. That would be amazing for them to do performances instead of always just running over to the Grammys. And then we always want to nitpick and complain about the Grammys and the Grammys don't do this and the Grammys don't do that, but we don't support our award shows. You know what I'm saying? That are specific to us and black culture and black entertainment. But Roddy Ricch was fire last night. We also got to salute Lil Durk who came out with Khaled. Shout to Khaled. Who had DaBaby, Lil Baby, and Lil Durk, and her on the stage, and Megan Thee Stallion on the stage at the same time. And let's not bury the lead. Cardi B coming out with Baby Bump for baby number 2. She pulled Cardi did it a little different than Beyonce at the MTVs. When Beyonce did it at the end. Right. And Cardi and Beyonce, I don't remember, but Cardi came out rapping with the stomach out. Like the first time you see her, she busts out like, boom, the stomach is out. And she drops down. She drops down into a full, pose and keeps barring it up with the baby. Strong legs. She
practices with culture. Remember her twerking at Coachella with the bump? I was like, it's like 100 degrees in this desert. How are you doing this right now in this heat? So she was ready. I think she's a pro.
You gotta think, Cardi's from the Bronx, so anything's possible with her.
So anyway, shout to BET, the BET Awards, a great time. And let's also make sure that we salute Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah got, I think they call it Lifetime Achievement or Icon Award, something like that. But Lifetime Achievement. So boom, Queen Latifah sitting in the audience and Rhapsody comes out doing Ladies First, rhyming. And then Moni Love jumps out. And I don't know if you recall, but the Moni Love's bars, which was like the first time we ever heard Moni Love rhyming, those bars on Ladies First, she's like spitting, barring it up. Moni comes out, does it live, still has it. Still has the breath control, still has the clarity, still got it. Then Lil' Kim came out and did the first part of UNITY, and then MC Lyte came out to do the second part of UNITY. It was fire, man. The Queen Latifah shit was
Ebro's face.
Fire.
They did this one for the ladies, but Ebro was sitting there like, this was really for me. This moment was really about me.
This is hype. Kim was on the red carpet pre-BET. She ran into our bro DJ Envy. Envy asked her, who does she want to do a versus with? Kim said, she wants Nicki Minaj.
Yo, Nadeska, chill.
Oh, man.
Nadeska, what do you have to say?
Chill out, Nadeska.
I mean, what's the question here? Okay, so is it like, would we watch a Lil Kim versus Nicki? Of course we would, but will this happen? You both know there's way too much tension between these women for this to ever happen without there being
Maybe
a conversation.
They fixed it.
When did they fix it?
Yeah,
I don't know. People got their own private phone lines. A phone, a DM, a text.
Okay, wait. So I didn't see the clip of Kim responding to this. Can someone tell me what was her tone and her facial expression and the body language when she said that?
Her tone when Envy asked, who would you do a versus with? She immediately said Nicki Minaj. And it wasn't in a snide way. It was like, I would be honored. Or
it was clear.
I would love, it was clear. It was clear cut. I would love to do one. She didn't say I love. She was like, I want to do one with Nicki Minaj. So it seems like, I guess to Ebro's point, maybe there might be some backdoor communication that we're, not privy to, or maybe she's trying to bury the hatchet by showing that these two can come together for the women in hip hop, or maybe she's just issuing a challenge.
Yeah, it sounds like a challenge. I mean, that would be dope if they finally just hashed this out. They talked out their issues, because we wouldn't want this to actually be tension at Verzuz, right? I feel like we've been waiting for this reconciliation. There's no reason why these two should be beefing still, but I mean, I would surprise if they already fixed it, Ebro. Doesn't sound like it. Maybe Kim thinks this is the opportunity.
Let me just say this. We don't need, or at least I don't need, or it's not expected for people who do verses to be friends. It's expected that they're doing it for the culture, right? They're doing it because the fans want it. They're doing it because it helps them musically and promotionally. It gives them a promotional springboard for whatever their endeavor, dropping a song, whatever. Look, Gucci and Jeezy, they not best friends. They showed up, did their thing. It was tense. It was awkward. There were some things that happened during it. We got through it, and it showed that, look, for culture, for this thing that once again has given us all so much hip-hop, other than social media and snide comments and shade, I don't know particularly the details of the Kim Nicki. I haven't studied it. I don't know
neither have I.
All of it, right? So I guarantee you it ain't what happened between Jeezy and Gucci Mane.
No. She's like, no.
Ain't nobody died and ain't nobody went to jail.
We have to make sure we draw the line in regards to what's going on between Nicki and Kim, what happened with Gucci and Jeezy. That's real life street shit that happened before either one of them had a career. But that's
my point. My point is, if they could get over their bullshit as grown-ups,
so I'm gonna say
we should be able to figure out Nicki and Kim.
I'm gonna say this. My man Ice on Twitter, officially Ice, he always says this: everything's a rollout. That was a random thing to hear from Lil' Kim, because that could have been said on Twitter, that could have been said on Instagram. She said it on a huge stage where she knew everyone, including people like us, will be talking about it the next day. So remember, everything is a rollout. So I would not be shocked if July 4th comes, or this week, and we see an announcement of Lil' Kim and Nicki Minaj, or of some sort, something's coming. That wasn't random. That was perfectly planted, just so we can get the conversation going. So I don't think that was a random thing.
And on the note of verses, okay, if we are able to get this post-pandemic versus scenario, what we got with Bow Wow and Soulja was special. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of their music. I recognize the impact of Soulja, and I recognize the hits of Bow Wow. But those records, all right, whatever. When you listen to them. When you see those two brothers on the same stage, though, performing the records in front of a live crowd with two DJs and them talking shit to each other, it was arguably a top 5 verses that we've seen such thus far. I don't know if you guys watched it.
I'm going to say this, and I might get heat for it. I'm going to say 2 things. One, that was the best verses we've seen. It's the best verses.
The best.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
The best verses.
I know.
The best verses I've seen. And
you're meaning as far as like energy and execution and
I think okay, the records is like, all right, like to your point, it's like some of those records like we didn't really give a about, but the camaraderie, the energy,
yes,
the performance
level, the entertainment value,
the guests, All of those things we have not seen in the verses yet. And to me, and this is no disrespect to Soulja Boy, I love what he's done for the culture. He's a pioneer. But it seemed like it was Bow Wow and Friends versus Soulja Boy. It was a Bow Wow and Friends concert while battling Soulja Boy. Bow Wow obviously is still a top tier performer. Just how he segued into
Bow Wow was up there
records.
Bow Wow was spitting like LL Cool J up there. Like,
bro,
you know, you listen to them records when he was like 4 years old rapping. You were like, I don't want to hear it. Now that he's a grown up rapping them same lyrics that he was rapping when he was 2 years old, yo, it sound like something, man. I ain't gonna lie.
He was up there like he was a 16-year-old. He had that energy. He had the breath control. He didn't look tired. He didn't look phased. He was smiling half the time, talking to Soulja, entertaining the crowd, interacting with his guests. Like, he really put on a top tier A+ performance. And I think, to me, performance value, entertainment value, that was the best verses I've seen.
But I agree with you guys that entertainment wise, it was everything that I wanted and expected going into it. Like, musically, like we said, I didn't expect Soulja Boy to hold us down. Like, Bow Wow telling him that he emptied his clip pretty early was pretty accurate. Like, he really did. Like, musically, he just kept running back, make it clap. But the entertainment was good. Bow Wow playing the trolling clips live, all the cameos he brought out. We got to see Academics DJ for the first time ever. Like, it was definitely a moment.
Yo, don't do that.
You guys just weren't going to give my Academics credits for finally showing the world he can DJ.
I'm trying to clean up my relationship with Academics, man.
Get out of here, bro. Shout out to my guy.
Yo, I'm trying to clean up my relationship with Academics, and here you go, bringing up the fact that Bow Wow was like, yo, you ain't no DJ.
But he's not.
Soulja was like, he got DJ in his name.
Listen.
He's not.
Leave my guy alone. That was a part of the fun. Overall, it was a great verses. And to your point, I love that it was really love. After all of that trolling at the end of the day, there was no beef. So I do hope that Nicki and Kim could happen. I think this would be the best way to put all that tension behind them. And hopefully you guys are right. Maybe Swizz and Timbaland have been working on this. Conversations have been had. If this is a rollout for both of them, this is amazing. This is amazing. So I would love to see that.
Yo, look, that's been the Rap Life Review. For Nadeska and Lo, I'm Ebro. Make sure you subscribe right below. And also make sure you check out that Rap Life playlist available right now on Apple Music.